What's up, you guys? We are back on the ranch and jumping right back into construction. Today we are going to be working on our custom pivot door that we made out of 2 shipping container doors.
Check out our pivot door playlist if you want to see the other videos we made about building our pivot door.
Today we are going to be working on the frame of the door and how we are going to seal the door from the outside. So the weather stripping or door gasket or things like that.
When we were researching how to weather seal pivot doors, we noticed that a lot of pivot doors don't have any door handles, only deadbolts with large door pulls. We want our door to seal out the wind and rain really well, considering how windy and rainy it can get here. And I think we're going to have to install a handle to make that happen. Sealing pivot doors is pretty tricky since the door opens both inward and outward at the same time, so I think we've got our work cut out for us for this project.
The idea right now is we are going to create a frame using angle iron and then use some kind of material to seal the door from the exterior weather. Will it go to plan? I don't know. We'll see. So first up, we are going to take some measurements and figure out if our ideas are viable and pretty much go from there. So let's jump to it.
So when we built the door, we noticed that this side has some slightly curve. So what we are trying to figure out is with the angle iron, what weather seal we can use to make sure like we are really protected from the element from the outside. And with the laser, we'll see how bad is the door. If we can go that close, let's see. Alright, let's see if we can do it like that. Like you can see if you come here. Oh, we can do it on this one. I will talk better. So the door bow in the middle to the inside. Actually, it's the same at all.
Okay, so we did the best we could with the measurements. It's a little bit tricky because the door is bowed a little bit, so hopefully that won't create too much of an issue as we work on creating the frame. But what we're going to do now is we have the piece of angle iron that we're going to use for the frame, so we're going to cut it to size and start to mock it up to verify that everything is going to work the way that we want it to work. So let's cut the angle iron, mock everything up, and just keep on rolling. We have something really cool planned for the door lock, so stay tuned to see what we use for that. It's amazing. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. And yeah, let's keep going, and hopefully we don't run into too many issues along the way. Don't want to jinx it though. Let's get the measurements for the first piece of angle iron that we have to cut. So we got the first side measured and now we are working on the second side. So let's get this measurement so Violent can cut the second piece of angle iron.
On the black line. Yeah, perfect. More close to the inside of the house, even more, not the inside, you're on the outside. Yeah, perfect.
So I can have a better reading. So 103, 116.
103, 116.
Thank you.
So this is the issue we are running into. As you can see, the gap down there is pretty large. And then it comes to
Here,
somewhere about like a 1/4 inch.
where the seal
And then up there it's large again. So the
And-
door is bowed kind of like that.
and if you can go on the other side to show that on this side, if you can film on this side. Here we can cut the angle iron here, because if not we won't even have like enough space for the seal in the middle. In the perfect world we could, but that will touch on the bottom and the top, but the middle will be so smooth for the seal. So I don't know, maybe we will like a flat bar here and try to bend this.
So this is the issue we're trying to work out right now. So I'm pretty sure we were able to figure out the issue with the door, the spacing and the gap and the shape of the door. Now we need to go and pick out which door weather stripping gasket material that we're gonna use in order to mock up this piece of angle iron on the one side, use that as kind of our guide and kind of work our way across the door. This side over here is gonna be the trickiest side, I think. So, I'm gonna start with the easy side right here and then work our way around. So one thing that's always challenging with these unique and custom projects that we do on the ranch is trying to make everything work and sourcing materials. So today we are heading out and just checking out all of the building supply stores to see what's out there and see what will work. We have some ideas in mind, but let's check it out and see what's available.
We ended up going to several stores, even marine and auto stores, to check all of our options before we made a decision.
So, headband on, you guys know what's up. Today we are going to be working on welding in the frame for the pivot door. We went yesterday, picked up some door seals, weather stripping, gasket, that kind of thing. We are going to install the angle iron, check and make sure that the door seals that we bought will work. So it's going to be a lot of trial and error today, but hopefully it will go well. So let's jump right to it and dive right in. Yeah, let's. Are you sure, babe? It's not even touching the weld up here. Oh.
So it's not close to the okay. Little adjustment. Okay. Okay. And V. 25. 25. 7. Here. Got up. Find this little bit more. It's still not fitting correct, but yeah. So we know where to clean the angle iron if we need.
So, making progress. Viant prepped the angle iron right here. So right now we're just working on getting everything set and placed well. We want to make sure that we put the angle iron at the good spot so we have enough room for the door seal to go right here and for the door to close against it. So just a lot of measuring and double checking everything to make sure that everything is lining up well before we weld it in. A few more things to adjust and I think we'll be ready to weld. So far everything is going pretty well. It's just pretty time consuming to do projects like this. Number one, because we've never built a door before, let alone a pivot door. So within that has its own challenges, and also making the door fit within our house has its own challenges. So there's a lot of things to work through, a lot of problem solving, and yeah, custom projects, they just take time, and a lot of time, especially when you are a beginner and have never done it before. Woohoo! All right, first close test. Let's close it and see how it looks.
As you can see, there is a small gap around the center of the door, so we are going to try to adjust everything so that there are no gaps along the door seal.
So we still have a few more adjustments on where we are going to set this piece of angle iron. So we're going to work on placing this piece of angle iron and hopefully get it welded in relatively soon. All right, just finished tack welding the first part of the door frame over there. I'm gonna hand it over to Viant and let him do the reveal.
By adjusting the angle iron, we were able to eliminate the gap around the center of the door, so we're super happy about that.
As you can see, that is fitting great, so we're off to a good start. This is good news, so let's keep rolling.
To compensate for the door gaps on the other side, Viant is going to grind down the angle iron a little bit.
So Viant just finished.
This incredible precision work.
Yeah, Viant just finished grinding down this angle iron. We're gonna pop it in the place over here where it needs to be installed and see if it fits. All right, a few more adjustments and I think we'll be ready to go for the opposite side. So, like I said before, it's a little bit tricky because the door isn't 100% square, flush, however you call it. It's got a tiny bow in it, so we need to compensate for that. So that's what Viant is working on right now.
Yes, and another stuff. It's so windy outside, it's insane. I don't know what's the mile per hour of that.
Very, very windy, that's true.
And
So,
what's dangerous is the pivot door. If we just let it go,
yeah,
that can act as a scissor, you know. So we
Yeah.
have to be very careful about that.
it's true. Yeah, we have to barricade ourselves in or out and make sure that the door doesn't cut our limbs off. We got this piece of angle iron right here situated and everything is kind of lining up well. It's sitting where we want it to sit. So Viant is gonna clean all of these areas where I'm gonna tack weld it onto this tube right here. And then we are going to weld it in. All right, we got the laser lining everything up, as you can see down here. So we're just going to tack it into place and make sure everything is functioning well, little by little. Okay, so let's check the compression. Go ahead.
Okay. Feel like it will be more compressed in the middle, less on the top and the bottom, but we'll also bend it so that will be better.
All right, so this piece of angle iron is tacked in. Everything seems to be fitting well. Sorry for the wind, I know it's super windy. But now Viant is replacing the foam with the entire roll of foam that's gonna go the entire length of the angle iron. See, right now we just have like a small, oh, he removed it, but there was like a small piece right here for us to kind of get the spacing right. But now that we're done and it's tacked in, he's gonna put the foam slash weather stripping slash door gasket, whatever you want to call it, all the way down the angle iron. And then I should be able to completely weld both pieces of angle iron in place and be one step forward on our custom pivot door. Okay, so we got this side situated and we got that side situated. The pieces of steel are tacked in. I didn't completely weld them yet because we want to make sure all of this up here is gonna work well before I jump in and completely weld everything in place. So now we're gonna work up here on the top part of the door seal. This is gonna be a little bit tricky because for a pivot door, part of the door opens on the inside and then that part goes outside. So the door seal is gonna have to be like opposite each other. You'll see what I mean as we continue, but that's the plan. Although the sun has come out and the rain has kind of went away, it is still really chilly. We are in like the low 50s, so, and it's super windy. So we are going to try to make the best out of it, get this part all situated up there, and keep moving along.
This is probably going to be one of the hardest parts of the door to seal, so let's see what we come up with. We use these DOVOH self-leveling laser levels super often, and they are absolutely amazing. They're really helpful for making things level and also marking straight lines. I'll link the lasers we use in the description if you guys are interested in picking one up.
So right now the challenging part is trying to find a way to seal this area around the pivot point, because ideally we are going to want the door to open a little bit past 90 degrees. And when we do that,
creates a bigger gap by the pivot point.
This outside part is going to rotate past the pivot point, and this inside part is going to rotate past the pivot point. So now we're just up here trying to figure out what we're going to do with this area right here, how to seal this area. So I'm pretty sure we have it worked out what we're going to do for this area. It's super, super tricky. We have a bunch of things to keep in mind as we kind of develop this door seal on the top, and it just takes time. Custom stuff just takes time, especially when you're a beginner. Then it takes extra time. So let's show you what we came up with.
So to do the seal, we'll have the same angle iron starting from this point all the way here. It is where this part of the door will come all the way here, so we still can make the door function. And from here, so about like here, we'll have a flat bar with this seal attached to it to have a very good like weatherproofing system. So that will be kind of like that all the way here. So now we'll cut the angle iron. Jess, she will weld it, and after we'll see if we do the flat bar now or not, but that will be like that. And this will be like tap into the flat bar so we can bolt it and unbolt it if we need to replace it with the time. No, it's too short. We need to cut from the long one. All right.
Of course, the leftover piece from cutting these two pieces is like a ½ inch too short. So we have to cut a piece that will fit off of the 20-foot stick. So Viant's gonna go cut it so we can get the door sealed.
37.5. All right, let's cut it.
So while Viant marks over there where to weld this piece of angle iron, I am going to gear up with my welding gear. Let's get it. Let's party. Okay, just finished welding in the pieces of angle iron that are going to make up majority of the weather seal for the pivot door. And let's check out what we did. Okay, so here's the door. This side, as you know, closes against the angle iron. So this is the piece of angle iron right here. Up there, we welded the smaller piece of angle iron. And right here we have the inside piece where the short part closes against like that. So it is coming along pretty well. Pretty happy with the results so far. It's really tricky to try to navigate this project because, like I said, we are beginners and this is a custom project. So that has some difficulties, but let's show you what it looks like from the outside. So here is the outside. So as you can see, this is the part of the door that opens in. That's the part of the door that's going to swing out. We have something planned for this area that we will be working on next, so stay tuned to see what we do for that. So we just got the last piece that we need for the door. Viant's up there working on the part that I am going to weld. But we just got the delivery, so I'm gonna go pick it up. But anyways, this is the last thing that we needed. Very important part. You'll see what it is as we progress. All right, little update for you guys. We got the angle iron all situated. We got that piece of flat bar welded in up here. So let's explain a little bit what's going on and what we're doing next. So let's go outside. So as you can see up here, this went pretty well. We are gonna attach that weather stripping to this angle iron and that will close this gap, and on the back of this we will put the foam that we used for the rest of the door. So that's situated pretty well. Now we are going to work on the door lock. So we are going to cut out the striker plate and work on installing the deadbolt, the door handle, and all of that. This has its own set of challenges. First being that this is a metal door, so drilling and tapping is harder. So we'll have our work cut out for us for that. We have a very, very, very cool thing that we are going to install for the deadbolt, so stay tuned for that. And we're just gonna keep rolling with it and see how far we can make it. So right now, basically what we're trying to do is figure out where to put the door handle and where to put the deadbolt. We're gonna have a really big door pull for the main kind of like opening because it's a big door and it's better to have like something solid to grab onto when you open and close it. But we need a doorknob to secure the door in place because we don't want to be using the deadbolt every time that we want the door to open and close. I just feel like that's a little bit like unrealistic. Like imagine you have like a party and people are coming in and you have to like do
Open and lock all the time.
yeah, like do the deadbolt each time that you want the door to close, especially right here because it's really windy. We cannot even work on the door without putting this little bungee cord right here because we get quite a bit of wind coming in right here. So this will be the doorknob and this is gonna be our deadbolt. Nice. Okay, so we are making progress, slow but steady. This is what we are going to be using to open and close the door, this cool little doorknob. Now, this was super hard to find something that would work for this situation. One, the door is thicker than an average door. The door is 2 inches thick. And when we searched on Amazon and online, 95% of all the door levers, knobs, opening mechanisms.
They were for a door of 1 inch and 3/4.
Yeah, which is too small. So we found this one. It was pretty pricey, but we got it quick, and actually we like it. So this is gonna be our doorknob. Now the second tricky part is that the door is made out of steel. So all of these little adjustments and kind of fitting everything together with the striker plate and everything makes it just a tiny bit tricky, because it's not like a wooden door where you can just use a chisel and kind of carve out what you need. So we are gonna make the best of it, try to figure it out, and try to get this bad boy installed on our door. It'll be really cool to have a door that closes and opens well, because it is kind of annoying to use the bungee cord all the time, and it's windy, so the wind keeps blowing the door open, and yeah.
Thank you to Tony to lend us this jig to actually position the hole where they have to be.
Yeah, huge shout out, Mr. T, you're the best. This is what we're gonna use to get all of our spacing right, and to use a hole saw to cut out where the lock mechanism cylinder is gonna go. So many like words for all of these terms: the door latch, the striker plate, the mortise, the lock cylinder. Like, wow, pretty technical, but.
Yeah. And that could be just like the big hole, the small hole,
Yeah.
the side hole, the front
Yeah,
hole.
yeah, whatever. Anyways, so let's hope we get it to work. So we are getting somewhere, but we are gonna take our more powerful drill. Now you can see we're almost through, but it needs a little more torque, I think.
Maybe this one will be easier to...
All right, so we got one hole there and one hole there.
Yeah.
You can see.
This is dirty.
Now we're gonna clean this up a little bit and attempt to install the doorknob and see how it fits. Okay, so we got the holes bored out right here and we just tested the doorknob. We're gonna install the doorknob and see kind of how it is to use it. I'm not totally sure that it's going to work because I think when the door is closed, to open it, we might be kind of like guillotining our hand right here in between the knob and the angle iron. I don't know.
We can resolve that with to put an handle.
A lever.
But we don't like the design on the door. That would be kind of poor. So we'll see if we can like accommodate ourselves with the door knob.
Yeah, we'll try to make it work. All right, so we got the first hole set for the doorknob drilled out. Now we are going to work on the second set. So this is where the doorknob will be, and up here is where the deadbolt will be. We're pretty much gonna repeat the same thing that we did with this one down here. Put the guide on there, Mr. T's magic door guide, and drill out the holes for the next step. So hopefully things will go smooth and we can continue rolling along and get the doorknob and the deadbolt installed. Like I mentioned plenty of times before, we have something really cool planned for the deadbolt, so stay tuned for that.
We got it. Another one.
Nice. Yay! We did all of the holes without breaking any tools or drill bits, which I don't want to jinx it because we still have to drill and tap the areas of the door where the deadbolt and the lock cylinder will go on the metal part. The wood part's not so bad, but metal part might be tricky. But this is great, making progress. What are we doing next?
Those one.
Ah, yes. Now we are going to drill and tap the holes to attach the deadbolt and the lock cylinder. Wish us luck.
didn't break the top. Oh.
4 holes, no breaks. Yeah. So we magically were able to drill all of those holes and tap the holes for the mounting plate for the deadbolt and the lock cylinder for the doorknob or whatever it's called, without breaking anything, which is a huge win for us. So we are just super happy. And now we are going to install the doorknob and the deadbolt. And after those are installed, work on the opposite part. But that will be in wood, so it will be a tiny bit easier.
We picked up this FORSTNER drill bit set from VEVOR, and we're really happy with it so far. So I'll be sure to link it in the description for you guys in case you're looking for a set like this.
Right, it's 1 inch that we have to do, huh? Yeah, makes sense, right? The same size.
Yeah. So we got the doorknob and half of the deadbolt installed. Now we are working on this side. Viant is chiseling out where the striker plate is gonna go. We have to kind of like chisel out a little channel so that
This can be at a good spot.
Yeah,
I guess we'll use the router, you know what I mean?
yeah, maybe.
And chisel the way out. We'll see.
Perfect.
Well, it's kind of a good looking, solid lockup, babe. It's kind of cool.
For sure. Okay, let's try it from the outside. Perfect. We are definitely going to have to replace this with like a lever or something because this is way too close to here and you risk kind of like guillotining your fingers in between here and the angle iron. So you live, you learn, but so far it's working well. So I'm gonna run through more features about this lock once we're done with the installation. There's a few things we need to kind of like check to make sure everything's working correctly, and I'll get back to you about this. We did a video about this lock when we were visiting our family down in Arizona, and it's absolutely incredible. We loved it so much that we decided to use it for our main entrance because it checks a lot of boxes for things that we needed. I'll explain more about that later, so stay tuned.
The time has finally come to let you in on this magical deadbolt system. So this is the EUFY FAMILOCK S3 Max. This is an all-in-one device featuring a 2K HD night vision camera with a 150-degree wide-angle lens and a smart lock with real-time alerts. Right now we are installing the dual batteries and setting up the door lock through the EUFY app. My favorite feature about this door lock is it has palm vein recognition, so you can use your palm to unlock the door.
Okay, so we just finished setting up this incredible 3-in-1 door lock. I added myself for the palm recognition, but now we're gonna add Viant. Okay, go ahead and put your right hand. Okay.
This is so cool.
Here we are.
Oh, you can see me on the...
Yeah.
This is fun.
Just right now.
Oh, wow. Perfect. Should I close it?
Yeah.
Solid lock up. Lock. Unlocking. Wow, look at this. Incredible.
This was a really challenging step for the pivot door, and it ended up being way more complicated and technical than we thought it was going to be. I'm really happy we figured out all the details and ended up creating a solid door frame and weather seal. Everything is coming together little by little, and things are really starting to take shape. It's a great morale boost for us to make it through challenging projects like this, and I'm really proud of us.
Well, there you have it, you guys. We got the deadbolt and the door handle and most of the door seal installed. So let me take you guys around, show you the progress, and explain to you why we decided to go with this deadbolt. Okay, so here is the front door, the pivot door. Eventually, we are going to refurbish and paint this. I know right now it looks pretty beat up. So we got the angle iron installed right there for the door seal for this side of the door. And back there, we have another angle iron on the interior of the house for this side of the door. Up there, we still need to install the weather seal right there. Basically, we're just going to use a door sweep and screw it onto that piece of flat bar. As I mentioned yesterday when we finished installing this is not going to work. We already know there's going to be too many issues. Everybody is going to, including us, is going to just smash their hand in here when using this. So we're going to change that for a lever so it's less dangerous. So let's open it up and check out the inside of what we did. So here we welded some pieces of angle iron, screwed this piece of wood in place so that we can install the striker plate for the doorknob and the deadbolt. So that turned out good. We're pretty happy with that. Here, while the door is open, you can see the other part of the door seal that we installed. So we just have a piece of angle iron right here, welded to the tubing that goes all the way up. And that's where this part of the door closes onto. Look at that. So bear with me, it is a little bit dark in here, but we have a lot of windows on that side of the house. Let me explain to you why we decided to go with this deadbolt system. So as you can see, the entrance of the house, we have no windows or anything right here. We wanted to be able to see who's on the other side of the door when we have people coming to the front door. What's great about this deadbolt system is, check this out. You have a camera in here that shows the outside. So this is amazing. Not only does it function as a camera, a deadbolt, but it's also a doorbell. Check it out. All right, so when we are on the outside, if someone comes and they want to ring the doorbell, check it out. So it doubles as a camera, a deadbolt, and a doorbell. I did an entire video about this deadbolt and we installed it on our family's house. It's really an incredible product. We're super, super happy with it. The palm recognition is just like the coolest thing ever, that you can just like wave your hand and open the door with your palm. But you can also control the entire system through the app. So you can add more users, you can do temporary passcodes. I'll include a link to this system in the description if you guys are interested, because this is a really cool product and I think many of you would enjoy using it.
I wanted to share this product with all of you because I think it could really benefit a lot of you. It's a great alternative to the Ring doorbell camera. Viant and I were really wondering how we were going to install a doorbell and figure out a way to see who's on the other side of the door without opening it. So this really ended up being the perfect option for us. We're super happy with it so far.
So not only can you control things through the app will also notify you when the door has been opened, closed, locked, and by who, which is really helpful to keep an eye on things like if you have an Airbnb or if you just want to keep an eye on things when you are not at home. It's a really great feature and I just think it's really cool. So we've made some pretty good progress on the pivot door. Now the door closes, opens, and locks, which is a huge upgrade. So we can finally remove our C-clamp door lock handle that goes through this hole in the door right here. So that's a big step forward. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do on the door. We need to close all these holes. We need to finish the weather sealing on the top, refurbish the door, the list goes on. But we're happy to be back on the ranch, working back on the build.
This project actually took a lot of time to complete. It was really challenging to figure out all of the details for how the door would seal, and it was also challenging to find the materials we were looking for. We ended up having to special order the doorknob, and it took several days to arrive, which pushed our schedule back even further. I know all of you want to see more videos about the build, but like I mentioned earlier in the video, it takes a lot of time to complete steps like this, and that's why our build videos are so spaced out. We have some really big things planned for this summer, so I promise there is more on the way. All in due time.
Also, just a side note, I know a lot of you have been asking about the floating stairs. More videos about the floating stairs are coming very soon. We just need to do some very, very, very time-consuming and big steps for the next stair video, but it's in the works, so be patient and we'll get there eventually. Thank you guys so much for following along on our journey and watching another one of our build videos. Really appreciate all the likes, shares, and comments, and the support. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Help support our channel by leaving a comment liking and sharing this video. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with our projects and adventures on Pacific Pines Ranch. We put out new videos every Saturday and sometimes even during the week, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss any. Okay, bye.